Hello, everybody. This is Don Blose, the CEO for Spanish Cove. I wanted to provide a quick overview and update of where we are with response to COVID-19. So first and foremost, the good news is we have had, since the beginning, we've had no confirmed cases of COVID-19 on our campus, either through our residents or with our staff. So that is great. Our efforts are working. But we have to continue to keep up the safe practices that we have instituted. So it's not the time at this point in time to let our guard down in any form or fashion. I want to remind everybody that this is a disease that, some people it has little effect on, but other people it is very devastating. And so one of the most devastating groups as a whole is people 65 and older. So if you've paid any attention to the statistics, about 80% of all deaths in Oklahoma have been to the 65 plus group. So, and this is a group that only represents about 17% of the total population. So it is certainly unbalanced and a huge reason why you cannot let your guard down, and we cannot let our guard down. So at any rate, you got to stay healthy. That's your job. And to keep practicing those things that keep you healthy and infection free. So there's a lot going on with recovery in our state, and nationally you see a lot of other states that have been opening up. This is recovery for people that are working or unemployed or out of a job. This is a recovery for them. This is not a recovery time period for people 65 and older. You have to remember that. We are the last group recommended in any of the recovery phases. So basically there's 3 tiers for a recovery phase, and 65 and old group is in the final phase for every single one of those proposals out there. So we've got to stay vigilant, and that, for the reasons that I mentioned. Mother's Day's coming up. Church restrictions have been lifted to some degree, but our visitation policy, our no visitation policy, will remain in effect for Spanish Cove, and it will stay in effect probably at least through May, and probably longer. We'll just have to see where we are. We continue to have community spread of COVID-19 in this area. The state right now has, there's been almost 4,000 cases identified since mid-March, and a lot of people have recovered from that, which is good news. But there are still at least 1,200 people with active infection. And as we see people getting out, going to church, going to other places, I'm convinced in my head that we will see an increase in cases just because some restrictions have been lifted up. Human behavior is such an interesting thing. Everybody needs to behave but me, sort of. We're a little bit selfish, and so we think that the reasons that we need to get out and about are fine, but everybody else needs to follow the rules. So I'm asking everybody to follow the rules. So we will continue, to allow people to get off campus for necessary needs, medical services, groceries. But please, now's not the time to let up. Please, we still have a stay in place order from our governor, and this is where we need to be, is here on campus and not getting off unless absolutely necessary. We've put in a lot of different measures. Proud of our staff for the measures that we put in. We provide assistance for groceries if you need some help in that area, or for other critical items. Just please call Debbie Miller, and she'll help you if she can, or we'll try to find some help. So, but stay on campus. We'll continue to have that no visitation policy. Mother's Day's coming up, and a lot of you guys want to see your family so desperately. I understand. I want to see my mother too. We're going to be doing FaceTiming. So she knows I love her, and your kids know you love them. And so, this is the way we need to continue for at least some time. We were not able to get out for Easter Sunday. Mother's Day is going to be the same way. Church may have reopened in some areas, but we are not encouraging in any way, although I would love to get back into a church. So at this point in time, you need to stay home. And so we're not going to be letting people get off for reasons to go to church at this point in time, because you will be congregating. You may be sitting in every other pew, but you're going to be at risk. And so that's the one thing we can't have because of our population. You may not feel like you're susceptible, but everybody is susceptible to this disease. And your neighbors are not invincible as well. So it could be very devastating if they got on campus. So we're going to try our best to keep us safe. And so, but the best for me and the best for our staff depends on you doing your best as well. So, and that's practicing all those things that we've been taught from the beginning: the social distancing, the hand washing, all the good hygiene practices. We're all anxious to recover and get back to sort of a semi-normal life, but that is still going to be a ways off, not just for our population here at Spanish Cove, but for everybody. So recovery is slow and in phases, and even though it may be tempting to go to a restaurant, a lot of you guys miss your favorite meals. It's not time to get out at all. So our recovery is going to be slow. It's going to be sort of similar to how we put in initial responses. We were looking for triggers. And so community spread is going to, of course, be one of those triggers. So we've got a lot of active cases in Canadian County right now. We've got over 1,200 active cases in the state. So as long as we're seeing all this continue, then we will continue to have our measures. I want to thank the staff for the job that they're doing. I hope you appreciate all that they have done as well. We are down in our staff. We've had, since mid-March, we've lost at least 13 people, and a lot of those were in critical nursing area positions. So we are continuing to provide the services, and we are continuing to hire people, but all those people that lost jobs in other medical profession areas are enjoying those unemployment benefits a bit too much. And not all staff have left because they don't love you. Some of them have left out of their own concern for their safety, as well as increased pay in other jobs. I know we lost some to Amazon. It's difficult to compete with somebody that's starting pay is $18 an hour. But at any rate, but they have done it. The people that are here have done a great job, and will continue to do that. Just one last thought I wanted to share with you. It's just so, when you're going through struggle, it's difficult to try to see the bright side of anything, but there are silver linings through this pandemic. And you can see a lot of the silver linings just from human behaviors. People are managing to figure out how to become even closer to their family and friends than they were before. There's resources out there. I think there's a lot of you guys are doing a really good job with staying in touch. You're very important, and you're important to those that love you. And so you got to stay connected. And I'm just really happy that you've learned new behaviors like technology, that you can do a lot more than you thought you could. So, and there's a lot of you guys that barely knew even how to turn on a computer that are doing a lot more right now, such as ordering groceries and shopping online and doing FaceTiming. So continue to learn. So that is a silver lining. So we're all capable of learning, and we're all capable of finding positive things that are occurring, and so many positive things are happening, even though this is devastating at the same time. So please continue to look for those things. It's easy to gripe and complain, but when you start down that path, it's a lot easier to find yourself quickly depressed that there's nothing right in the world, when there's a whole lot that is right with you and a whole lot that is right with Spanish Cove and our community in our state of Oklahoma. So it's easy to complain. It's a lot harder to find the positives, but I know you guys can. So, because there's plenty of them out there. At any rate, stay safe, and I love you, and I hope that we get through this thing without anything happening. That's our goal. It's hard to be perfect. We're ready in case we have a case of COVID-19. We've got a plan, whether it's in independent living or assisted living or nursing care. We actually have, in our new wing, we have some rooms that we have sealed off, and so this really depends on symptoms and the signs of what's going on with an individual that will trigger whether we need to get them off campus or not. So, but anyway, we do have plans in place. So you guys continue to do those things, continue to stay here on campus, and you're doing a tremendous job. You got to keep up this good fight. So, you know, we're probably in the middle round, so we still got a long way to go. But keep your endurance going and keep exercising and doing all those things that you need to do to stay healthy. So, anyway, you guys take care. Thank you.